this is Veronica Scott, and the authors of Embrace the Romance, Pets in Space 2 are doing a different thing where we're reading little snippets from our stories for you. Don't know how fabulous this will be, but I've picked a snippet and I'm going to read it, and I assembled my robots to be my stand-in audience. So my story is Star Cruise Songbird. It's set on my luxury space liner, the Nebula Zephyr, and it involves a rock star who's doing a special cruise where she gives performances and meet fans, and the security officer, Grant Barton, who's assigned to her. Now, so he's been assigned to guard her and escort her, and here he is taking her to the first onboard concert. Okay, here we go. When the singer emerged from the room where she'd been getting ready, he was astounded. She looked as if she'd stepped straight from a tridio, her sexy costume elaborate and glittering in the lights, her multicolored hair caught up in coils by all manner of elaborate bejeweled accessories. Even he could tell her shoes were works of art, with heels designed to resemble stacked planets standing 6 inches high. Obviously enjoying his reaction, she pirouetted on the absurd heels, hands on her hips, and said, coquettishly, grinning over her shoulder, "Well?" Seeing him apparently at a total loss for words, she laughed and held out her hand. "Escort me," she said, like a queen. He did so, surrounded by her team, including the backup singers and the 6 dancers, all of whom joined Carissa when she reached the backstage area. Gently, she let go of Grant's arm and stepped away, gathering her team for a pep talk. He stayed alert, watching everyone else in the area, ready to challenge anyone acting suspicious. The show was already going on at full volume, and Carissa's was the final set of the evening. When she ran on stage, her dancers bouncing and doing acrobatics around her, the roar from the crowd was astounding. Grant stood in the wings as close to the stage as he could and watched the performance. Carissa strutted, she danced, she teased, she brought a child on stage for a brief chat, she sang full-throated. The crowd loved it all. He had a hard time keeping his eye on the audience, watching for problems, because she was so riveting. "First time at a show?" asked an older woman standing next to him. "This is nothing compared to what she'll do at the big concert on Kalilia next week. There'll be multiple costume changes and aerial components, maybe some new songs, although she's been quiet about her songwriting lately. She doesn't want her manager getting the rights to any more of her stuff if she can help it. Things are unfixably sour between them now." She laughed self-consciously and held out her hand. "I'm Des Doosan, by the way, her chief makeup artist. Chief busybody, too. I try to look out for her as much as I can. Been with Carissa 9 years, ever since she hit the big time with Twisted Comets. She'll probably sing that for the encore." "I hate to admit it, but I've never heard her music before. It's all new to me," he said as they shook hands. The woman did a double take. "You're kidding, right? You're probably the only person in the sectors who hasn't heard at least one Carissa song." "Well, I have now," he pointed out, annoyed to feel so defensive. As expected, Carissa left the stage briefly at the end of her set and re-entered, skipping and beaming at the crowd as the applause rose to deafening levels. She sang the encore with as much energy and enthusiasm as she'd opened the concert. Then she waved to the crowd and danced off. Grant followed her as Des Doosan gave her a bottle of water, and the 2 women headed for the dressing room. "Did you like it?" Carissa asked over her shoulder. "Full of energy and feeling," he said. "Clearly I missed a lot while I was on active duty." His answer appeared to please her. "Give me a few minutes to freshen my makeup, and then we'll be off to the official after-party."